hit record here. And okay, so we are going live and talk about divine timing and our connection and introducing our dear brother Kevin Wilkinson to the world. This is Kevin Wilkinson, and
hey, world.
Marla and I are blessed and honored to call you our brother. And this journey we've been on for, I think, a couple years together, and all of the beautiful lives you've impacted, and us meeting here in Scottsdale, Arizona, and also us seeing each other in London, and just, wow, our soul-to-soul connection. And as you know, Marla and I can talk for like 9 hours straight and share stories, but this is about your beautiful journey, how we met, and talk about divine timing. So world, our dear brother, Kevin, this is the world.
Hi guys. Wow, what an intro. Has it been 2 years? It's been 2 years already. Yeah.
I
thought it was longer.
Oh, maybe it is long.
Yeah, I think yeah.
You know what? It is such a whirlwind. Time is linear, as we know, and don't blink. And as we do know, be thankful and grateful every second of the day. So, and where are you located, by the way? You get to. This is your journey. This is your.
I'm located in the UK. I'm located in the Cotswolds. So it's about an hour and a half outside of London, in the West Country. So a beautiful part of the country. Yeah. So I think it was our good friend Matt that introduced me to the intention stick, which we have here, and it was interesting. I came over to meet you guys. I already had this. I wear it all the time, and we went for a hike. I remember meeting you guys. We were sort of showing us around your place and telling us your story. And some of the guys were like, "Oh, I need one. I was like, I'm great. I've already got one. All pleased with myself." Get back to my apartment the day before I'm about to fly back to the UK. I can't find it anywhere. So I came back, contacted you, Scott, and said, "Oh, can I come back and buy one? I don't want to be without one." And we just struck up more of a relationship there. And it's interesting. I'm not sure if you remember, Marla, but when we left, that time when we first met, I remember you saying something like, it was almost something like, "We're going to speak again." It's almost like you said something like, "We're going to have this, there's like a connection there. We're going to do some more, we're going to work together or do something else." And that's what's happened. Yeah.
It has. And you remember what I said to you the next day? I said, you didn't lose it.
That's right. Yeah.
Someone found it who needed it much more than you did at that time. And we know it went to a beautiful home that was able to impact or change their lives. So again, sometimes when we look at things differently and understand we never lost anything, it just ended up being at a more special or divine place at that time. So right, again, another gift you were able to give to someone and you didn't even know it, but
and it brought the two of you back together.
Yes, it did, because then we had a little deeper conversation versus a group conversation, and truly knowing we were separated at birth, or we were brought back together in this lifetime as true brothers to share our journeys together and what we were brought here to do for humanity. So
very much so.
So tell us a little bit about you, what you do in your journey, and
Sure. So I, in my everyday life, I work in the investment field, which is, it's not as it sounds, because I'm a hypnotherapist and coach by trade as well, but I also have this investment side as well. But my clients are almost like my best friends. So we go out for dinner, we talk about life, and the business side of things is just a small portion of it. And the reason I always mention that bit is because for me, freedom is one of my biggest values, and helping people through a financial aspect and not being that stereotypical type of person that works in investments and the products we offer and the people around us is, I think is quite a thing worth mentioning, But working with people is my passion. And we've been taking people out to Bali for the last 2 to 3 years now, I think it is. Doing some retreats on that and working out my catchphrase, if you like, is creating life by design and not default, because I'm of the belief that we're always creating our reality. So why not be conscious of doing that? Okay. And which is why the intention stick resonates with me so much. It's just that, I put it on every morning. I could quickly, sometimes I know what the words are, and other times I'll just check. And it just anchors me and sets the kind of tone for the day or whatever it is. It's just a powerful reminder to have something on your person, wearing it so close to your heart. It's just it's a lovely thing to have resonate out of you. Yeah. And we were talking just before we started recording about, which I forgot actually, that, I always gift. Do I say this live? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I gift the clients that come to on our retreats with the intention stick, and you and Marla kindly give a talk, and then we gift them and we bless them. And the first time we tried this, the logistics were there was a panic on, and we had a month to get them over, and they still hadn't turned up, and it was the last day that we were going to go, and before everyone
back up one step. So I want this conversation to be understood, because so you called me from the UK and you're saying, yes, we have a beautiful retreat taking place in Bali, and there's going to be wonderful people attending, and can you ship this out to me? And I'm like, of course we can, we figured out, how to figure out to send this post, USPS globally, and to this little village in Bali. And we did blessings, not with the names, because we didn't know them yet, and shipped it off. Now, you're there, I think you were there for about, 3 weeks or so, give or take, in Bali?
Yeah.
And
that's right, 2 weeks, until
2 weeks, and you're like, okay, is it coming? I'm like, yeah, it's been shipped, and we're tracking it, and it's getting closer to the end of your retreat, and you're like, they still haven't arrived, and now we're like, okay, just putting out to the universe, we know it's going to show up, we know that, you just trust that. And a day before the end of the retreat, when everyone has to fly back to where they live in the world, they're like, it still hasn't come, and you're getting a little nervous, because well, you're not going to be there, so we're thinking, oh my goodness, it's just going to be left in this mailbox for forever. So we're like, I know it's going to show up, and literally the day before, actually the day you were leaving, it showed up to this village so that you could gift the beautiful souls the intention sticks. And then we spoke for, I think, probably about 45 minutes, and just really impacted that in those beautiful souls' lives, because I'll let you take it from there, but after that it was just wow.
I mean, it was funny, because it's a bit all over the place and everything else, and it was just the most amazing parting gift you could give anybody. And the whole theme of the kind of the course is to get you through to that place where you are, again, talking about faith and talking about surrender. And that was the epitome of that. And it was the looks on those faces are just it's priceless.
And
it really was.
Thank you for allowing Marla and I to share that gift with you and the beautiful souls that you impacted on the other side of the world, literally, physically. And wow, and you continue to be such that beautiful bright light, and the souls that you're impacting through your coaching and your heart. And this is why we're all here. We've understood why we've been given our gifts and our tools, and what we were brought here to do in this lifetime, to help one another. And I know, again, it's why we were divinely guided into each other's lives, for this reason, to continue spreading that light and love amongst all of our brothers and sisters around the world.
Yeah, for sure. And there's a couple of stories I wanted to share with you, actually, because I don't think I've known about this. So one of them, I took some notes.
I love it.
Yeah, in preparation for today. And And what's in here at the moment is faith, health, and blessed.
Oh,
Those are the 3 words I've got.
wow.
And they don't really change that often, if I'm honest. But I suffer quite badly with some arthritis in my hips, and they told me that because of this arthritis and the stages that I'd probably need a double hip replacement. And I'm at 46 now, which means in my time, I'd probably need them done again and again. So I really didn't want surgery. And this is a massive source of stress for me. And I've been researching, Googling everything, couldn't find anything else, alternatives to hip replacements and stuff like that. And there's a couple of other procedures, but when they looked at my scans, they said, "No, you're too far gone. So it wouldn't work for you. You'd be wasting your money." And I remember just sitting with it, and I don't think every now and again, I'll be honest, I don't always remember to sort of give this kind of a special resonance. Sometimes I'll stop and pray, or I'll just hold it in my hands for a moment, hold it close to my heart, close my eyes, take some deep breaths, and just really let those words resonate over me, you know? But sometimes life takes over. I put it on and I'm away. I always wear it, but sometimes I don't think of the significance. And I did that, and I was particularly down because I'm quite active. I like to do a lot of sport, a lot of kickboxing and things like that. And I'm not in that position to do that. And so I did that, and I can't remember, something came up, and it was literally in my news feed, and it was something about a clinic in Harley Street in London around this new procedure that they're doing, which is essentially stem cell. I was like, oh my God. So I contacted them, went and saw them. And turns out I can have that procedure. I can do that. And they looked at my scan. Yeah, we can do this.
Wow.
So, but it's going to cost you £8,000. I was like, oh. Right. At the time, and I tried to get it on. I have private health insurance, but because it's a what's the word I'm looking for? A pre-existing condition. Yeah, I can't. I don't qualify for it. Oh. So I needed to find the cash. So this is the faith element of those 3 words. Okay, those 3 words were in there at the time. At the time, I was going through some financial difficulty with in the investment field, and I'd been in that kind of turbulent situation before where a product wasn't performing and we'd need to get clients' money back, etc. Anyway, I get a random call from someone else that the easiest way to explain it is that I was able to not only save my clients' money and put them into something else, it was actually a better product for them, which meant higher yields, which meant higher commissions for me, which meant I had the money. I had £50 over the amount of money I needed for this
wow.
procedure. Yeah.
Wow.
So within those 2 months. So I booked this, have it done, and then since then I've been on a rehabilitation thing for it. So that's no surgery, more mobility in the hips. That's my that's one of the
wow, every hair on my body's standing up, Kevin.
Yeah, so that's the faith, that's the health, and that's the blessed.
Wow.
And you know, wow. Hips also have a meaning of being able to move forward in life. So
yes.
So when you start understanding the miracles that are happening around you, you're able to move forward and let it go. Release your hips of anything they're holding on to. And Kevin, that is so beautiful and powerful.
Wow. And I know there's many, many, many more stories we've talked about prior over these years of that journey together. But that is so powerful because it is everything you ask for, and set that intention to be, or constantly be, not just for yourself, but for others that are coming into your life, you know, that is coming out from your heart, that energy, that vibration, that you are not impacting your clients. As we don't say clients, this is friends, this is family. There's no division. You know, this is how Marla and I have always been. We don't say, oh, we have a new client coming. No, this is family, and it is, because you want only the best, not only for yourself, but first and foremost, the best for your friends, right? And the people that are encompassing your life. And it's incredible. And
the intentions helped create your experience, right? And you put them out there, and you were able to manifest and see it. Right?
Yes, 100%.
There's two things as well, because there's an element of surrender there. There's also an element of, yes, there's the intention, but prior to that, just being in that, taking that time to really connect with this and feeling those, even now I've got hair standing up, I'm feeling that surge of energy. I feel, oh my God, I'm aligned. I feel good. From there, everything is then created, the intention is just, that the match of the intention is easier to find, the frequency is just there. You can't do that if you're not feeling well, you're not feeling good about the, what it is that you're praying for, what you're holding on to. So it was just a beautiful kind of alchemic process. Well,
I was going to say, when Kevin speaks, I feel the I am presence from you, the I am, right? Like you said, just being in the stillness with yourself. And when you're in that stillness, you're able to, like you said, surrender and open your heart to receive everything that you need.
Yes. You again, that trust, that faith, and Marla and I share, when we can just learn to get out of our own way. Miracles unfold, right? Which we have witnessed with you on your journey. And wow, that's such a beautiful and blessed story. And yes, we are all blessed, right? We don't realize all the things we already have versus what we think we need. We are so blessed.
Well, it shows up right when you need it, right? When you ask for it, right.
And today, and was there anything else story? Was there another story? I know you took notes. What else did you want to share?
No, because interesting enough, the finances thing kind of ties into that as well, and it's the same thing. It's to the point now where I recognize if a challenge comes, of course it's irritating and always inconvenient, but at the same time there is a gift. There's always a gift. There is a opportunity for growth when that happens, So feel the emotion. Don't compress anything. Feel this is awful. This is terrible. Where's the? Because everything exists at the same time, right?
Yes.
So we must turn around and keep, again, the faith. Let me look for what am I being shown? This is clearly that this isn't of what I'm desiring. So what is it that I do want? What's the intention here to not get away from, but go towards?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful. It's not a door being closed. It's just bringing you to something even better. That gift you just said. And sometimes we fight that so hard, and it's not what was meant to be. And when you can understand, why is this happening, because most people, as you and I and Marla know, why is this happening to me? It's not, it's happening for you, because something better is coming, right? And we still hold on to that. We clench it with and just let it go, because it's not what was supposed to have happened in your life, because you are being guided to something better and more incredible, not just for yourself, but for the others in your lives. And that, again, comes from fear versus the trust and faith that you already know. And thank you for sharing that beautiful wisdom for someone that also may be going through those challenges, right? Because everyone is going through these challenges. And what I started off this conversation, because it's talk about divine timing with what we're witnessing in this world right now. And I was in morning prayer and meditation, and I was in tears. And we shouldn't be witnessing what we're witnessing in this world right now, with people thinking religion and color and politics and whatever you want to label something is making someone better than someone else. And you and I and Marla and all of the beautiful souls that are in all of our lives understand there is no black, white, pink, yellow. There is no Christian, Jewish, Buddhist, Muslim. We are all the same. Our souls are the same, but we're witnessing the diversity, the horrificness. And here in, not just in Los Angeles, my son, Marla, our son calls us last night to say there's a curfew put in place because of rioting. Here in Scottsdale, which you've been literally a block away from my office, there's beautiful people protesting with signs and the right reasons for peace and oneness and love. That was in Phoenix that was happening, which was 20 minutes or 30, not even 20 minutes away from Scottsdale. And then you have people starting riots and looting and breaking into businesses. And I mean, things you would only see in a movie that are actually taking place in the 21st century, in 2020, in the civilized world. And yet it's literally like we're going back to the 1940s or 50s or 60s. And I mean, it's not what we should be witnessing. And it's all coming from fear versus love. And you and I, there's no color. You are a brother, and I'm proud. Marla and I can call you our brother. I grew up in Michigan and Detroit. There's no color. There's black, white. There's every religion. Marla and I had the honor to meet our dear brother, who is a Sufi master, Jonas Al-Gahar, who grew up as a Muslim in the UK. And his father told him growing up as a child, if you don't go to mosque and pray every day, 5 times a day, you're going to hell. And he says, something's wrong with that. And Marla and I stood arm in arm and embraced one another. Here, a Sufi, a Muslim, here as a white, as a Jew. It was a brother. We stood together as one. As you and I, we know we were separated at birth. We were brought back in this lifetime to share these messages that we are all the same and we're here to help one another. And it just, like I said, it brought me to tears that here, with all of the work that has taken place, Dr. Martin Luther King, Gandhi, Mother Teresa, all of these beautiful leaders of every color and every religion, we're witnessing the divisiveness, the separation, to think that someone is better than another because the color of their skin, they have more money, they have more politics, they have more religion. It breaks my heart, and it's not going to take us out of our path of why we're here. Again, I know this is a test. As we talked prior to starting this interview, it's a test to try and take us out of our path of light and bringing this world back together as one. We are one. We just forgot. We have been programmed to think, because of the religion, the politics, the money, whatever you want to label it, that someone is better than another, and not on our watch. And it's just so, it's in a time that's so needed. We're having this conversation, and I want you to share what your feelings, your thoughts, coming from the UK, because there is no black, white, pink, yellow in the UK. I mean, we grew up as a beautiful oneness, and it just...
There still is, and it's interesting that it's funny because I was pondering this today, and I just thought the division and some of the challenges that we face, whether it be race or a virus or internal conflicts between one faith and another, I think they all come with the same thing. They're all underpinned by division. They're all underpinned by division, which is that fear that we speak of. And yet on the opposite side of that is unity, oneness, wholeness, and knowing that we are all the same. Now, I'm of the belief that there is something else at play. There's always polarity, right? There's something at play that truly does fear that unity. And as hard as it is to say, I feel that unity is actually expanding more and more and more, just like consciousness is. And there will become a point where there is a tipping point, and like you said, we can at this point now is to deepen our practices, deepen our prayers, and just remind ourselves to be connected with ourselves first, and then we can see. I can look at you, my brother. I can look at you, my sister, and recognize and see myself in your eyes, or see the God in you, because that is what's going to keep us together. That unity. Everything else hasn't worked, or it hasn't worked for the majority of the planet, at least. And this fear and the separation, this is what causes us the most. And we feel it. We do feel it. There's a disconnection. You know, to the point where, why is it that we have to rely on people taking images of this on their smartphones to see some sort of truth, rather than trusting, I don't want to get political, but rather than trusting what the media shows us? You know, if we see 3 or 4 people we see the same image from 3 or 4 different smartphones, and think, okay, well, that looks like that's what's really happened, and we have our own sovereignty to make our own decision.
Right.
And that's one beautiful way that technology is actually helping us. And I think as much as it can be used as a force to control, I think it can be used as a force for freedom and liberation. It all depends. It's about perspective and in the eyes of the beholder. I worked, and one of the things it's funny because I had to send a video to a group of young kids, inner city guys between 16 and 25, and obviously off the back of the coronavirus being cooped up for a long time. There's a lot of mental health things going on, and then this thing that's that's happened now, the riots and everything, and there's a animosity between the police. We have that over here as well, animosity between the police and some of the kids in the streets. But again, it's that division that that seems to be pushed forward when no one will remember. I personally have had incidents where I'm like, wow, that was racist. And then there's been others where this guy, the 2 police officers have bent over backwards, made sure I'm safe, got me off the side of the road. So it's very much down to the human. And as hard as this is, those people I still believe it's a minority that are having these negative impacts. And it's also these minorities that are having these negative impacts at a systemic level that then filter down. So again, like we said offline, I think it's going to get a little worse before it gets better, but we can't avoid this. We cannot escape this rising consciousness if we just remain true to who we are and be our own sovereign leaders and just let that resonate out from us. That's all we need to do. And we will know when to take inspired action.
Yes.
And that's not right. I'm going to stand up for that. Or I can speak about this now because I feel I need to be able to speak. So I've got a message to say. That's what we're here for. I think this is why we're specifically here and this time right now in order to be able to do that. What a beautiful time to be alive.
What a beautiful time. Actually, that's exactly right. Wow. Beautiful time to be alive. And, yes. And you're absolutely right, Kevin, to see the beauty in each one of us, right? No matter what our skin color is, no matter what religion we choose, no matter what job we take, if we're a police officer or first responder, whatever that may be. And we have to stop seeing each other as separate from one another.
100%.
And under the tree of life, that's what we are. We are one. And we are all pulling from the same source. We are all pulling from the same energy. We are all pulling from the same consciousness. And if we could see the beauty in one another. Now, can you imagine if a police officer had an intention stick on and maybe
the person that was maybe the victim or the person that maybe committed something that maybe wasn't as intense. What we just witnessed with...
If they both had intention sticks on and saw each other.
There would be a common bond, not color, not politics, not money, but there would be a common unifying symbol that, okay, I need to treat this person with kindness.
Well, they have an understanding.
They have an understanding that we are all the same. Stop being programmed. You know, a beautiful message that was just posted by our dear sister, Melissa. Her husband's a police officer. And it good for her for speaking her truth, because all police officers are not like that. I have one of my dear brothers growing up in Michigan, my dear friend, Carrie Glazier, an incredible police officer in Detroit. And these are, again, judgment. Oh, all police officers are the same, or first responders, or, oh my goodness. It's just, you know, that this isn't everything in this world. You know, there are good Christians and bad Christians. There's good Jews and bad Jews. There's good Muslims and bad. Again, there's always good and evils. There's extremists no matter what. But we have to bring that balance and continue to put out that light and understand it's another human being. Yes, maybe someone did something wrong, but still there has to be compassion and kindness. And yes, sometimes these situations get out of control. And sometimes, yes, we understand there has to be restraint. I get that. But come from love versus from fear or seeing color or religion, whatever that may be. Just see that we are all the same. You know, because when we look, one, we're not judged. Who are we to look at someone else in this world and judge them? We're not. And the thing that I'm going to share is one day we're going to stand accountable for all of our actions. I don't care if you did something bad. Who am I to judge you for some action you did? I'm not talking about you particularly, Kevin. But who am I to say that was wrong, that was bad, that's good, that's evil? One, that has nothing to do with me. One day when we transition, whether you believe it or not, and this goes, I know you understand this, but our angels are with us every second of the day, taking notes, taking inventory of what we have done in our life. And when we cross that threshold, we're going to have to take accountability for every action we have made in our lives. And you're going to have to answer why. It's not anything coming from judgment from us. You, meaning the individual in this world, is going to have to answer for your actions. And you need to take accountability for who you are, not who, as you said earlier, Kevin, I love this, not who we've been programmed to think we are, because that comes from fear. But to what you said, to listen to your heart and soul, to listen to who you truly are for the first time in your life, to understand that's not resonating with me. I don't like that. I need to stand up and speak my truth for the first time, because when you speak your truth and you see who you are, wow, it's why we're here. It's to take the knowledge we've been given, the tools, the blessings, the gifts, the platforms, whatever that may be for that individual, and help another person versus stand by and not do anything about it. Enough, be your voice. Stand up for not just your own rights, but someone else that may be going through something horrific that we're witnessing right now. Enough, right? It's wake up, world, right? Wake up, world, and see this is not resonating with me anymore. I can't tolerate this. As we talked about prior to coming onto this conversation, enough. Just enough. Come from love and help our brothers and sisters. Don't stand by idly and say, well, it's not affecting me. Sure is. Yeah, it sure is affecting all of us, because we are a part of this collective.
Definitely. It's like when you make change, it reminds me, I said this the other day in a post, and it was like when you know, most people make change when they've just had enough. They are sick and tired of getting the same results that they've had to get. And I feel like this is what's happening on a collective level right now. It's almost it's unbearable. It's to the point where something has to happen, even if we're not quite sure what that thing is.
Right.
You know, but the first step is literally to align with ourselves, our true selves, and then make the call from there, and take the action from there, because it will be the right one. It will be inspired.
And that definitely, is so true, because we can change our consciousness like that.
Yeah.
Right? When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. And when we can see the good in everyone, and it's there, it's just covered up with all the baloney and the programming and the fear and the religion and the politics and the greed and whatever you want to label. Just start seeing the good in everyone, because when you look at someone and you don't like what you see, it's like us looking in a mirror, reflecting back on the things we don't like about ourselves. We need to be the ones that change, right? In order to make change. So when we do see the good and the love and the happiness in everyone, then it's within us, because we have made that change. And nothing is ever too late, regardless of how programmed we have all been, right? Break out of that shell, break out of that prison, break out of whatever you want to call it, and be who you are for the first time in your life. And yes, it's scary, because we're all going to worry about what everyone else thinks about us and how we're acting. But that's not our problem. That's that other person's problem. Be what you know is true in your life. And you are going to make a difference, which you, Kevin, and all the beautiful souls that we've been witnessing are making change in a time that's so needed.
It reminds me, actually, because there's something about okay, with the attention stick can be very personal or whatever, but I just, as I was writing down some notes, and the faith, hit health, and blessed came to mind, I was like, well, perhaps then on a collective level, on a global level, this is an invitation to start praying and start having some intention for the world, or how the world we'd like to look like, and do that. And I wrote these few words. So with faith that consciousness is increasing despite the nonsense we're subjected to. With health of the planet ourselves and our loved ones. Blessed that we are here at this time, not to only witness, but be part of that change.
Wow.
That is so beautiful.
That is beautiful.
And what you just summarized in those 3 beautiful sentences and your 3 intentions is unconditional love. And I know we've had this conversation, and this is what Marla and I speak about every day. And you already know what it says in every spiritual or religious or culture in the world. It says, love your brother and your sister like you love yourself. And that is the most difficult thing to achieve in this lifetime, to truly love who we are. And we can't blame anyone other than us. We can't blame the parents, the grandparents, as we've talked about. But to truly love ourselves, to look in the mirror and say, I love you to yourself. It's difficult, but we have to. We have to find that love in ourselves so we can truly love one another. It's a Hebrew word called tikkun ulam. Tikkun ulam means it starts from within ourselves, to repair our own broken vessels, to fill ourselves back with unconditional love, because when we do that, we can love another brother and sister, which will heal and repair the entire world and throughout the universe. But it has to start from within ourselves first, right? And we're doing that, and we're teaching or awakening these beautiful souls in a time that's so needed for the generations to come, right? For the children, the grandchildren, and the great-grandchildren to grow up living a life of intention and unconditional love. And Kevin, I know you know this, my brother. We are doing it. We're not talking about it. We're taking action in a time, as you said, that is so needed. And nothing will take us out of that path, knowing why we're here in this lifetime, to do the work and understand what brings us our happiness and our bliss by helping one another. And I can't share enough by saying how much we love you. You already know that. You already see our hearts and our souls, but you are my brother. I am honored to call you my brother. And I love you more than you'll ever know. And thank you for what you're doing, as being that bright light for all the brothers and sisters you are touching around the world. And as you and I and Marla know, this is about us collectively, right?
It is.
And I don't know if I can add any more, because you filled me so much today.
And it's just that anybody that's watching this, or as we're experiencing this, I don't know how many miles we are away, and yet we can create something so beautiful and so powerful. This is testament then to how powerful we actually are as a collective rather than individuals, for sure.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Anything? I don't know if I can add anything more. I mean, or anything you want to share?
No, you both said it all. I just would end with, as you both touched on, love, to love yourself, the unconditional love, and then to go out and inspire, impact someone else, anyone. Go find someone down the street, wave to them, ask how they're doing, make them feel as though they matter, acknowledge them, give them a reason to feel that their existence matters and that they have purpose in this life. And we will unite. We will unite.
And that is what the tree of life is. It is that unifying symbol, right? We're all born with the tree of life. We just have to learn how to activate it, right? And it's, as you know, it is the evolution of consciousness. It is the expansion of our souls. And as you and I, Marla, have spoken about, and we say this again every day, it's not being better than anyone else in this world. It's being better than who you were yesterday. And if you don't like who you are, you can change and you can grow and you can learn to, again, love yourself and make that change in the world that you want to see, versus being programmed to think what is making you happy. Because if it's not been making you happy this far, then it's time to change. And change is amazing, and accept that and trust that. And let go of those reins for the first time in your life and look from within for the answer versus the external. Because if the external is not going to ever bring us our answer, it's going to come from what makes our hearts and souls happy. And that is why we're here. It's about helping one another. So, wow, I don't want this to end, and it never will, because you already know, even though you're on the other side, as we say, even though you're on the other side of the pond.
I will come out. I keep threatening to you. I will come out.
We can't wait, but you are with us every day, and we love you, and we honor you. And again, you are right here. And our sign off is sending you blessings and intentions of gratitude, light, and so much love. And I love you. I love you. I love you.
We love you, and we honor you.
Oh,
we love you too.
As we say, abiento, right, my brother?
Yeah.
That's
great.
Until next time.
Until next time. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.